Hi guys, welcome back. It's Nancy. You'll have to forgive, I sound a little nasally. I'm fighting a little bit of a cold here. But we are going to play with today the Silhouette Corner Foliage Stamp Set. And this is from Blue Night Rubber Stamps. And this stamp set comes with 3 stamps. So you have the corner foliage, you can see stamped here. It has the sun or the moon, and then the sentiment, happy birthday. On this one, I did some really easy masking of the moon, pan pastels in 2 different colors, and then stamped out the sentiment and the foliage there. And I put a little bit of shimmer on the moon, okay? So I thought we'd go a little bit mixed media today. I have a piece of Tim Holtz Distress watercolor paper. We have a smooth side and a flat side, or a textured side. And we're going to bring in our Brushos and our little cosmic shimmer powders and see if we can make something really pretty, kind of look like maybe a sunset or something like that. So I'm going to work right on my craft mat. Let me grab that. Any non-stick mat will work. And I'm just going to lightly spray down a little bit of water. This is just the Distress sprayer. Any water sprayer you have will work. And I'm going to just lightly sprinkle on some colors. And I am going to do a little bit of blue at the bottom here. See if we can get some kind of water representation. That was turquoise. Add a little bit of Prussian blue. I think I need to spray more water here. There we go. Okay, just a couple of sprinkles of that. And then I kind of want to go into my sky. I'm going to leave a little bit of an open space there. All right, and I'm going to go in up here with my yellow. Just a little circle of yellow right there. Then I'm going to kind of go around it. Whoops. Almost like a halo rainbow of orange. Some gamboge, which is a little bit darker orange. And some red. This may not work, or it may work fabulously. We don't know until we try it out. All right, now I know for you guys at home, all you're seeing is just some water spots and some sprinkles, but believe me, there is color there. Again, I'm going to try to lightly mist some of this and see what we can get. Now, I'm going to go down on the textured side, press down and press up through the paper, and then from the top, pull down. So there should be kind of an area in the middle here where it's going to meet. Oops. All right, now when I lift this, I need to be careful which direction I lift it in, because if I lift from the top, that red is going to run into the blue, and if I lift from the bottom, the blue is going to run into the red. So I'm just going to kind of very carefully see if I can lift it and flip it. There we go. So we have some of that color running. Actually, we have way too much blue. We need this to come down a little bit. I'm going to dip back in onto this side over here. All right, so I'm actually going to spray this so that color runs down. There we go. And that's actually not too bad. Can add a little bit more color to that if we want. Yeah, I had way too much blue, and the blue is kind of muddied into my colors here. And I can fix that a little bit by grabbing paper towel. And I'm going to kind of just dab in the middle. It's going to lift some of that color right there in the middle. So we have a little bit of a distinction between the reds and the orange and yellows up there and the blue down here. And I'm okay with the first layer. I think I want to clean that up and add a little bit more, because this will dry back once we heat set it. So I'm just going to take a paper towel and clean all of this up because it got too muddied. Okay. And since this is already pretty damp, I can just go in and add some of those colors. So just sprinkling some of that gamboge in there. Some of the yellow. Maybe at the top, it's just a smidgen of red, not a lot. Again, spray that again. I need more water in my mister. There we go. And again, when it starts to kind of run off, if you don't want it to, just dab that water. Gives it a little bit more control of it. Okay, I'm going to heat set this a little bit. Oh, I got some of my red crystals down here in my water. To, again, just kind of control a little area here where I want it to be more yellow, kind of like our sun coming up or going down on the horizon. So just taking a watercolor brush, just kind of re-wetting that area there. And I'm going to sprinkle some yellow back in there. And then I'm going to go around again with some orange out here. Just going to layer and try to intensify those colors. And some more of the gamboge. Okay, so now I'm going to spritz at this kind of angle here. Ooh. I do kind of want this to run, spread out. I don't really want it to be so granular. I just want all of that color to spread around. And trying to keep it away from my water. You gotta be careful because those extra crystals do kind of go everywhere. Okay, that's looking pretty bright. A little bit extra red here. Just kind of moving that color around and getting it back. Layering it in a little bit at a time. Okay. All right, I like that. I'm going to add a little bit down here at the bottom, and I'm going to go in with the darker blue just to do a little bit around the corners. Again, miss that. And do the same kind of thing. Just take my paper towel, dab off any of that excess, because I don't want it to move too much, because then it's gonna you know, be everywhere again. Need a cleaner paper towel. And we're going to spritz it again, and then we're going to dry it again. So it's a process of kind of putting your colors down, layering them how you like them, moving them around, adding, removing water, pigments. Now, like that big blue pigment there, I don't really like that there. I'm going to try to lift some of that out. You can see the water brush kind of moves it out of the way and takes it out of there. And then I want to move this pigment kind of back and forth along the bottom there. I don't want it going into my orange and making this muddy scene, but I do want some of that dark blue to just creep up a little bit. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And once again, we're going to wipe this up and we're going to heat it. Now, obviously, the more layers you do, the more concentrated the color it is, the darker it's going to be. You can just keep going until it gets darker and darker, but I like how the corners are dark. You can see that sun in the middle. Okay, I have completely dried that, you guys. I paused the video because you didn't need to sit there and watch me do that. So once it's dry, it is going to curl up a little bit, but this is for the most part pretty dry. And again, if you wanted to intensify those colors, go ahead and add more. I'm okay with this, so I'm going to bring in my Tim Holtz stamping platform just because this is a red rubber stamp and it handles the red rubber stamps pretty well. And of course you could do this with the smush methods with inks. You could do it with alcohol inks. Okay, and I have this set on the rubber side. And I want to stamp this corner foliage. Now we need to bring in our stamp positioner because of this watercolor paper being pretty warped. We're going to need help holding that down while we stamp. I'm going to stamp this in the corner here, put it in the corner. I guess that magnet's not gonna, that might be in the way too. There we go. Okay, and then the ink that I like to use on these red rubber stamps for a really dark black image is the Catherine Pooler Midnight ink, and I am using the handle so I don't drop my ink pad. Ink that up, and this is going to take a couple impressions because again this paper is textured, so we may not get 100% impression on this paper, but that's okay because it's still going to look cool. Actually doesn't look, it gives it more of that watercolor look by leaving it that way. Okay. Okay, I actually like the way that looks. Accidental discovery there because now they don't look so perfect, so they go more with that watercolor look that we're getting from the Brushos. I'm going to clean my stamp off. And then again, it comes with the happy birthday sentiment. It is all one piece, but you could do stamp surgery and cut that apart if you wanted to. I'm going to leave it alone. Just move my magnet down here. And I'm going to move it into the foliage a little bit. Now, if you're not sure if it's going to stamp straight or not, because it is on a rubber stamp, bring in a little piece of acetate. Ink up your stamp. Okay, and then take a look at it. I think that is a little crooked. The birthday needs to come down like that. So I'm going to move my stamp. I'm going to clean this off. And I can actually see that it's crooked on the grid marks on the stamp platform. That should be better. And again, I'm going to do my test stamp on the acetate first. That definitely looks better. So we're going to clean our stamp again. We're going to clean our acetate carefully. Move that out of the way. I'm going to move this magnet out of the way too. I'm going to re-ink it. And stamp it. Wow, that looks pretty good. I'm going to go one more time here. There we go. And then one more, just right where that I and R. A little bit of ink right there. All right, that came out pretty nice. Let me clean this up and put it back. And there you can see we have this wonderful watercolor look using Brushos. The stamp set makes it so easy. If you wanted to go in there and add some shimmer, you could even do that. In fact, I think I am going to do that. Some Spectrum Noir, and I'm very carefully just going to kind of go right here where my sun is and do a rough outline of my sun. So I'll just do this circle going around my leaves. I don't want to grab that ink and smear it. And that just accentuates that yellow. And there we have our sunrise, sunset, whatever you want to say, kind of scene there with a little bit of glimmer to add to that. Very simple, very easy to do. Again, you could do this with alcohol inks. You could do this during the smush method with your ink pads onto your nonstick mat. But try it out. I'll show you the two cards fronts that I did again. So this one is using the Brusho powders or Color Burst, whatever you have. And this one is using the Pan Pastels. So let me know down in the comments below which one you liked better. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and keep on stamping. Bye-bye.